you can see, he's got big money in his hand. It's evidence. Sounds like a hand. See it? Look at that. All that money. See it? A ton of money. Show me the money.
Hey guys, Carolina Fort Worth. We are finally starting to chip away that blue line, and we are catching and convicting the officers that plant drugs and other evidence on innocent people.
Former Texas DPS trooper is out on personal reconnaissance bond today after being booked on 2 charges apparently connected to drug arrests and seizures in past months.
45-year-old Chad Harden of Iowa Park was booked and released today on charges in sealed indictments of tampering or fabricating evidence with intent to impair an investigation, and 1 charge of possession of a controlled substance.
How you doing? I'm good. What's this door for? Oh, what's the secure? Why is it secured? Oh, what do you got back there? Prisoners?
No, offices.
Offices are secure?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think about the state trooper that got arrested in Wichita Falls for planting drugs?
I can't make any comment on
Aww. How much extra money do y'all get for stopping the war on drugs? You don't know.
that. I don't make any comments on it.
Okay. That's pretty sad that one of your fellow troopers got arrested for planting drugs. That kind of gives the whole department a bad name, huh? That's huh?
Excuse me, are you handling this? Huh?
Oh, I can do this. This is public place. Yeah.
Because I don't.
Yeah, this is a public place. Okay, thank you. How do you feel about the state trooper that got arrested for planting drugs in Wichita Falls?
Well, ma'am, I don't have an
Makes you
opinion
all
on
look
that.
bad, and you look like a good guy.
Well, thank you for saying that.
You look like a wonderful guy. Too bad he makes you all look bad.
I'm sorry.
So what do you think about defunding? We're defunding you. What do you think? Should we defund you?
I like my job.
Have you heard of the grant that they're giving us troopers of the war on drugs on 287? Where they get the extra money for the war on drugs? No? But there is one, right? A grant.
Like I said, I haven't heard much about it.
Did you hear about the cop in Wichita Falls that got arrested for the trooper? The trooper? You didn't hear about the trooper that got arrested for planting drugs?
I didn't.
To keep his grant money coming?
I didn't hear anything about it. So they put
Yes,
this
you
thing on email.
did. You heard about another trooper planting drugs. Wichita
they're
Falls.
on email, then I'll read it. If not, I usually
You
don't.
know that a trooper got arrested for planting drugs
Yeah, so
on 287. You knew. How would you not know? There has suddenly been a rash of police officers planting evidence on unsuspecting motorists, and we have evidence of that right here. The Marshall Project has been keeping very accurate records of all the evidence planting done by cops. We even have evidence caught on camera by their own body cameras of cops planting evidence. This is former Deputy Zach Wester, who's accused of planting drugs on more than 100 people. So many of his victims have not recovered from their arrest. They were jailed, lost marriages, lost children, lost jobs, lost reputations, lost homes. One gentleman kicked a drug habit and was able to get custody of his daughter back, only to have her removed once he was convicted of this fake drug charge. This body cam footage of Wester's helped get him off the streets and arrested. Watching that left hand, he's got something cupped there. Do you see that? Something's definitely cupped there. And that's what the prosecutors pointed out. And he also has that one glove off. So that was very strange to them. They couldn't figure out why his hand was cupped like that unless it was holding something that he was fixing to plant. And plant he did. Do you see how his hand disappears from camera range? Yep, there it is, right there. And that's where it's found, right there. It's also interesting to note that most of his victims pled innocent, but nobody believed them. They all believed the deputy. So the biggest question
question I had when I was doing the story is why? Why would someone risk their career, risk their family, risk their everything just to like put a few people in jail? And the reason is money. And that's in the form of a federal grant from the federal government. And this grant actually gives all sorts of money to these smaller departments, to all departments actually, to fight the war on drugs. Now, some of the smaller departments actually depend on that money to stay afloat. So they need it every single year just to stay, afloat. And so that's one of the reasons why they do this, is because if they don't prove that they're actually winning this war, the money stops.
Another incentive to plant drugs on somebody would be to cover their own mistakes or cover their own acts. Like, for instance, if they ran into the wrong house as a SWAT team, they would plant drugs in that house to justify why they were there. They will plant drugs to pad their arrest record and make their statistics look better, because the guys with the best statistics are the guys that get promoted. They also plant drugs because they can. They're power tripping. And they enjoy that power because it gives them a sense of satisfaction. They also are power tripping on the fact that the DA usually knows what's going on, but does not prosecute. Why? Because the district attorney is also padding his numbers. Because the more convictions he has, the more likely he'll get elected as a judge. And if that DA started to put the bad cops in jail, the police union would make sure that that DA never got elected again.
Okay, so how do you protect yourself from getting planted on? If you're in a random traffic stop, there's only two ways that they can search you. One is if you consent, don't do that. And the second is probable cause. If they're asking for consent, that means they have no probable cause. So make sure they have no probable cause. Only roll your window down just a little bit so they don't say they smell marijuana. And don't have paraphernalia in your car. They can consider a lot of things paraphernalia. An apple is paraphernalia because you can make a pipe out of it. The spoon that you eat your yogurt with in the morning is paraphernalia. Make sure all that stuff's put up.
I wasn't going to put this in, but this is the ultimate way to protect yourself. Here we go.
You can do this, and this is just a little bit shady, and it involves your key fob. This is such a nice invention, because if you have a key fob, it means you never ever lock yourself out of the car. It won't let you. But every single car has a dead spot. In other words, there's a place in this car where if I drop my keys there, I'll lock myself out. My dead spot is right underneath my pedals and underneath my floor mat up there by my feet. If my keys fall down in there and underneath that mat, I can lock myself out. So what I do is this. I have actually, if you look inside your key fob, you have a key that unlocks your door. I made a copy of these. I made two copies. I've got one underneath my license plate on the front of the car, and I've got one taped up underneath the car. So if an officer asks me to get out of my car, my key fob's already down by my feet.
And I'm just going to lock my door on my way out and accidentally lock my key fob in the car.